Have you ever had a flat tire on your vehicle? If not, lucky you, because you're driving around with 4 of these things on your car, and even a small, pointed, little sharp stone can ruin your day. But if you did, would you know how to fix it, or would you spend hundreds of dollars having somebody do something that you're completely capable of? Well, lucky for you, I'm going to teach you the important skill of changing a flat tire, because you never know when it might come in handy for you. First things first, we're going to need to go over the required equipment to accomplish this job. First, we have a floor jack. And if you don't have a floor jack, all cars will come equipped with this little jack in your trunk or behind your seats in your truck. Next, we're going to need, for this 2005 Silverado, we're going to need a 22 millimeter socket. And luckily we're in my shop, so I got this nice impact. We're gonna put that socket on the impact. But if you do not have this, along with your roadside jack, your car and its repair kit will have a socket wrench attached to a jack handle that you will then go up to your tire lugs and break them loose with your socket wrench. Now, and we have one more thing for safety. We have a safety jack. Safety jacks come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. You just adjust it to whatever you're jacking to, so that just in case your jack gives out, it won't fall and hit you in the head. Now that we've gone over the required equipment, let's get right into jacking up our vehicle. While jacking up your vehicle, the first thing you're going to want to look for is a proper jacking point. On this Chevy Silverado, we'll be jacking right behind the rear axle here. Right back where these bolts are and right where it attaches back to our rear axle. So let's slide that in there and see what happens. So I'm sliding it back in here. And I begin to jack it up. Jacking is simple. It's just pulling a lever up and down to build hydraulic pressure to get the head of your jack up onto the rear axle here. I got to do a little adjusting. Go back to the rear axle. Tighten our jack up. We jack until that jack's hitting the rear axle. Now continue to jack our handle of our jack until the truck begins to lift. Once the truck begins to lift and you got some clearance underneath your tire, so you will be able to remove it, such as this right here, little clearance where you see the ground and the air between the tire, we will then install our safety jack. Our safety jack, I'm going to come around the back side here. I'm going to find a good spot to put our safety jack. I'm looking around. I'm going to go right at the back of this hitch here. Just in case that jack gives out, this safety jack stand, keep it from falling on our head. There we go. It's tight. Let's continue our work. Now let's get our impact and begin to loosen these lugs up. So like I said earlier, we got a 22 millimeter socket. We're going to loosen these sockets up, or these lugs, excuse me. Put it in reverse and spin these bad boys off, just like so. Just like so. Now, there's a star pattern that you'll learn about as we go further on with the speech when reassembling these lugs. as always, a good practice to remove and install our lug pattern in. But once we got them all broke loose, we're going to take all of our lugs off and we're going to stack them off to the side in a safe spot so we do not lose our lugs. Now in this case, we have a 6 lug tire. Most of your cars would be a 5 or a 4 lug. It all depends on your vehicle and what you're doing with it. Most trucks are either 6 or 8 lugs. And a lug nut is kind of a goofy looking nut. It's unlike your standard nut. See how it's slightly beveled there? That's what pushes against your rim and holds your rim tight against your hub. All right, now that we got all of our lug nuts off, let's remove this tire. Now to remove the tire, you just simply push on it and you pull right off. Bam, there we go, tire's off. Now you're looking at your hub assembly. In your hub assembly, you just got your lugs and your studs that your lugs mount to. But now we would take our flat off. We're gonna pretend this is our flat tire. We're gonna pull out our spare, and we got our spare tire. We're gonna roll it back, and we're gonna remount this tire. First things first, you're gonna wanna try to line up your holes. So we're lining them up so that the studs fit our lug holes. And then tires are kind of heavy. You just lift it up, you rotate, you get it on there. And this is the tricky part. You gotta kind of hold it and get your lugs started at the same time. You want to be kind of careful with your lugs. If they're going on a little rough, don't force them on because you'll cross thread them. And then you'll have problems later further down the line. So we're going to start all these lugs. Just get them started here. Get them snug against the rim. That bevel that I told you about in your lugs, when you begin to tighten them, it'll straighten your rim up onto the hub. So you don't have to worry about being perfectly centered at this point. Just get it snug so the tire doesn't go nowhere. Now that I got all 6 nearly started, we're going to tighten these bad boys down. We're going to put our impact into forward instead of reverse. I'm going to show you a little up close here what I'm talking about when I talk star pattern. So the standard star pattern for tightening tires is always crisscross, and then I always like to go around at the end. So we'll start with this guy here, and you'll go across the horn down to the bottom. Then you'll go here to here, then here to here. And I'm just going to snug them up. You don't want to over tighten because that could hurt your rim, do more harm than it does good. So we're going to begin to do that, and then I'll go around the outside. So here we go from the top. I'm going to tighten until I hear a couple clunks, such as there, about 2 or 3 duds. Now I'm on to the bottom one. Exactly catty corner in the star pattern. Back to the bottom here. Star pattern. Back here to the left. Then back to the right. A couple ugly lugs. And then I like to go around the outside just to be sure. Like I said, just a couple ugly lugs. Don't over tighten. More harm than you do are good. And there we have it. A tire is reinstalled, and we're ready to get this bad boy back on the road. So let's remove our safety jack. As stated earlier, here's our safety jack. Crank him down. He's removed. Then we'll go back over to the main floor jack. Here we are. And you just turn to the left on your handle to relieve the pressure. Hydraulics go down. That tire is back on, and this truck is road ready. Get our jack removed. Today we have demonstrated how to properly remove and reinstall a tire so that you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. Now, next time you get in your car and you're headed on a big trip, have no fear and have the confidence. Change a tire yourself. Thank you.